A single touch lasting less than 3 seconds can flood a woman's brain with enough oxytocin to make her feel emotionally bonded to you for hours. That is not poetry. That is neuroscience. And yet most men have absolutely no idea which touches trigger that response and which ones makes a woman quietly decide she will never see you again. Today we're going to uncover 7 specific touches that can dramatically influence how a woman experiences your presence. Some are so subtle that you'll be tempted to dismiss them. Don't. In many cases, the simplest touches are the ones that stay in her mind the longest. Here's what many people never understand. A mature woman is rarely captivated by compliments alone. She has heard charming words before. She has received thoughtful messages and sat through conversations that sounded impressive on the surface. What truly affects her is something deeper and far more instinctive. The right touch communicates comfort, confidence, warmth, and emotional security without a single sentence being spoken. It reaches places that words often cannot. And once you understand how that works, you'll begin to see connection in a completely different way. The first touch is what I call the gentle lower back guide. At first glance, it may seem like nothing more than basic courtesy, but there is far more happening beneath the surface than most people realize. Imagine walking beside her through a crowded room, entering a restaurant, or navigating a busy event. A calm, steady hand placed lightly on her lower back can create an immediate sense of awareness and connection. The key is not force, it is not control, it is not urgency. It is the quiet confidence behind the gesture. A mature woman often spends much of her life carrying responsibilities, solving problems, and taking care of others. She becomes accustomed to being the strong one. When a man places a gentle hand on her lower back with warmth and respect, it sends a different message entirely. It communicates presence. It communicates protection without possessiveness. It communicates, I'm paying attention to you. When delivered naturally and at the right moment, this simple touch can create a feeling of comfort and emotional closeness that many grand romantic gestures fail to achieve. Sometimes the smallest touch leaves the deepest impression. The second touch is one that rarely gets the attention it deserves, yet its emotional impact can be remarkable. I call it the two-handed handhold. Most people hold hands without thinking much about it. This is different. Picture a moment when she is sharing something meaningful with you. Instead of simply holding her hand, you gently cradle it with both of yours. Suddenly, the interaction feels more focused, more personal, and far more intentional. Why does this matter? Because the human brain naturally responds to signals of complete attention. When both of your hands are wrapped around hers, the message being communicated is clear. You are not distracted. You are not halfway present. Your attention is fully with her in that moment. For a mature woman, this can be incredibly powerful. Many have experienced relationships where they felt unseen, unheard, or emotionally overlooked. They sat across from people who were physically present but mentally somewhere else. When you hold her hand this way while genuinely listening, she feels something many people crave but rarely receive: your complete presence. And in today's world, that alone can feel surprisingly rare and deeply attractive. The third touch is one that often surprises women because of how simple it appears. It is the forehead touch, not a forehead kiss, not a dramatic romantic gesture. Just the quiet act of gently resting your forehead against hers for a brief moment. What makes this touch so powerful is the level of closeness it requires. You cannot do it from a distance. You cannot rush through it. Both people have to slow down and share the same space, the same moment, and the same silence. For a mature woman, that silence can speak volumes. Life teaches people to protect themselves. Over time, emotional walls are built through disappointment, heartbreak, and experience. The forehead touch has a unique way of lowering those walls without demanding anything in return. It does not push for more. It does not create pressure. Instead, it quietly communicates, I'm here with you. A man who can share that moment comfortably demonstrates something many people never learn: the ability to be emotionally present without filling every second with words. And that level of calm confidence leaves a lasting impression. The fourth touch is one I almost hesitate to share because of how effective it can be when used at the right moment. It is the gentle touch on the back of the neck. Now, this is not a touch that should be rushed or used too early. Trust must already exist. Comfort must already be present. When those foundations are in place, however, this touch carries a surprisingly strong emotional message. The back of the neck is one of the most sensitive areas of the body. Because of that, a gentle touch there immediately captures attention. It creates a unique combination of comfort and attraction that is difficult to replicate through other gestures. What makes this especially meaningful to a mature woman is what it communicates. It does not feel aggressive. It does not feel desperate. Instead, it reflects quiet confidence. It shows awareness without being overwhelming. A woman with life experience often recognizes these subtle differences instantly. She understands when a touch comes from genuine connection rather than an attempt to impress her. That is why timing matters so much. The touch itself is powerful, but its true effect comes from the trust that makes it welcome in the first place. Now we come to the final 3 touches, and these are the ones that often create the deepest emotional impact because they communicate affection in ways words never can. The 5th touch is the subtle thumb stroke. Imagine you're already holding her hand or resting your hand gently on her arm. Without drawing attention to it, your thumb slowly moves across her skin in a calm, natural rhythm. It seems insignificant, but it creates a powerful feeling of warmth and closeness. The reason is simple. Slow, gentle touch is strongly associated with emotional bonding. Her mind may not consciously focus on it, but emotionally she feels it. The 6th touch is what I call the silent pull. You're sitting beside her or standing close, and without making a big deal about it, you gently bring her closer. No words, no announcement, just a quiet action that says you enjoy her presence and want her near you. For many mature women, that feeling of being wanted simply for who they are can be incredibly meaningful. And finally, the 7th touch is the long hold hug. Not a quick greeting or a polite embrace, but a genuine hug that lasts long enough for both people to relax into it. A hug like that communicates reassurance, comfort, and emotional security. It allows stress to melt away and creates a feeling of connection that goes far beyond attraction. When you look at all 7 touches together, a common theme emerges. None of them require wealth, status, perfect looks, or elaborate planning. They require awareness, patience, and genuine presence. And when those qualities are expressed through touch, they can create a level of connection that many people spend years searching for but rarely find.